and let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.
All right, that's it. Let's get it popping. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun with my main man, DRE.
Let's do it.
And I am JD, aka He Who Pods. He who has all the glare in his glasses. So I'm going to take them off for a better viewing experience for our viewers. And speaking of our viewers, listeners, just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for rocking with us. We know it's been a hot minute, and we're back. And so maybe we should address that, right? I mean, they don't really know what was going on, the fitness listeners and viewers.
They'll be all right.
They don't even...
They'll be all right.
Dre said, F transparency. Let's just pod.
I tell them what happened. Tings are gone. And that's it.
And that's it. And there it is. Now, moving right along, we're going to start with our usual sponsored by segment. And so this is easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is some sauteed veggies, mostly spinach in the picture here. And this is some vodka sauce pasta. Ooh. And so this is just regular old rigatoni, none special, with some store-bought vodka sauce, because I'm not that fly, you know. I don't know how to make none of that stuff from scratch. But I do know how to follow a recipe. I do know how to boil water. And I do know how to dump it right in to the sauce. And so that's it. I just chopped up some onions, peppers, spinach, tomatoes, broccoli, sauteed it, seasoned it, devoured it. You feel what I'm saying? And so I like sauteed veggies because you can saute pretty much anything, throw it together, and as long as you've got some good seasoning in there, always enjoyable. You know, my daughter, she knows it's my go-to, and sometimes she'll beat me to the punch. She'll be like, Dad, I know we're probably gonna have sauteed veggies. Are there any other options today? I'm like, all right, fine. Fine, you got me. You got me. So, yeah, but I came back from the gym, and I had a AMP show to do. By the time y'all see this, AMP will be over, but I did my last AMP show, and so I said, well, you know, yeah, I'm sad. I'm definitely sad about that. But, yeah, so I didn't have a lot of time. I knew I had about 40 minutes to cook before my AMP show started. I said, what can I whip together quick? Sauteed veggies and pasta. Can't go wrong with that. And so that's it. Actually, I forgot I had garlic bread in the freezer. I might have to do that with the leftovers.
Oh, man.
Shucks.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that tomorrow with the leftovers, you know.
No doubt.
And so that's it. In an attempt to get back to cooking at home, because I've been eating out way too much, and it's killing my pockets. Oh, man. You know, I was just talking to our boy David about this exact thing. You get excited and feel like, oh, I got a little bit of money to play around with this check. Money that doesn't have to go to obligations and bills. But then you order out twice and you take 2 Ubers, and then you be like, I got negative $5.
Word.
This is a problem. So trying to get back to cooking because I've been eating out a lot. I was doing good, and so now I'm trying to get back. So that's it. That's our sponsored by. Oh, go ahead. What you was about to say?
I would say that. I mean, that's what's up. I mean, you said earlier, making something from scratch, but nobody got time for that, man. Modern day times to sit and make something from scratch. I mean, if you do have time for that, that's great. But most people, especially a person like yourself, working mad hours, doing mad other projects, the key is if you can cook at home, which is the best thing. We know that's the best thing as far as nutrition. Cooking at home is going to have way less sodium, way less hidden processed foods or processed ingredients. But that doesn't mean it needs to take all day, you know, and that's what's up, man. So this is actually, it seems really filling. Look like this meal that you put up there is a very filling meal, and probably hold you down for at least 2 hours or so, huh?
Thanks. Oh, that's it for me. I'm done for the night.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was it. You know, I'm on my intermittent fasting, so.
Oh, okay.
Till
I'm back
till sometime tomorrow.
I'm back on that too. Yeah. If you want to talk about it, we could, but I'm back on that. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
Intermittently.
Yeah, I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I've said before, man, like there's plenty of things. We both done plenty of different things. You know, we're open. We love to experiment. What this person is doing, that person is doing, blah blah blah. And out of all the years of me, you know, training and dieting, the one that has worked the best and given me the best results has just been intermittent fasting in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm back on it, man. I'm like not as like hardcore like the OMAD, the 1 meal a day, but I'm definitely like eating on the days that I train. Like that means like pushing heavy weight. I'll eat my most meals, and then on days where I'm not going to go to the gym and I'm just doing cardio, I might have like 2 meals. You know, so
Okay.
I'll skip a whole entire like I'll go without eating. Let's say about 6 hours. I won't eat. And then I'll be like, okay, let me get something to eat later on.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I like to bang my meals out and then be done for 12, 14 hours. So I finished eating at around 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not eating before 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. The way I'm doing it is like, okay, let's say like today was one of my fasting days, right? So it's like, I woke up and all I had was water, and then I had tea. Then I had like a little coconut water. Like I kind of like that. And I don't know, people might say, oh, that's not fasting because that's like 20 calories, but I don't know. People
It's
are wrong.
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
So then I had my first meal about 11 o'clock in the morning, right? Then I didn't eat. And then
hold on. After being up from what time?
So I woke up at about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right. I figured that. I know your schedule, but for the listeners and viewers to kind of paint a better picture.
Yeah. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I started doing stuff. Like I did my laundry, started cleaning up. I had a class to teach, so I started getting all my, you know, papers and everything, ducks in a row to teach my class.
Right.
And that's when I like, you know, first day I wake up, I just have water, and then that's when I'm like transition to a little bit of tea. And then a little bit later, I'm like, oh, I think I have some coconut milk. And then about 11, I'm like, oh, I'll get something to eat. So I ate at 11. Boom. So from 5 to 11 was that window. And then after that, I went to work and I didn't eat again to about 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Right? And that was the last time I ate so far today. And so and much like yourself, it's like I'll probably, if I feel super duper hungry tonight, I was like, man, I got to eat, then I'll just have like a protein shake. I won't have like a full meal.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. But wait a minute, you may not be giving yourself enough credit. How many hours did you sleep before waking up at 5 a.m.?
Oh, that's a good question, man. Sleep is still like tough for me. You know what I'm saying? Still tough. So I started, say I went to bed 10. Yeah. I went to bed like 10 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So went to sleep at 10, woke up at 5 and started getting busy. So it's not a lot of hours, but
I mean, that's 7 though.
Yeah, it's decent, you know.
That's more than I get. That's more than my regular schedule. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was probably
so really you fasted for way longer because I doubt you ate and went straight to bed, but for argument's sake, let's just say you ate and went straight to bed, right? So 10. Right. Now you got the 7. You didn't eat till 11. That's another 6?
Yeah.
So 7 and 6, you didn't eat for 13 hours.
Right. Boom. And
that's what I tell people a lot of times, like, if your last meal is at a decent time and you could make it to bed, you might not even wake up hungry.
Right.
You might wake up high.
Yeah, and that's why the best thing is to have like water first before you're like, oh, I'm hungry, let me get something to eat. I'm always like, get something to drink first and make it nice, some water or tea, because you'll be surprised how long that little water or tea will get you a couple of more hours. Yeah, you know, you get a little 2 hours, 3 hours. And then when I was really hungry, I said, okay, rather than me eating again, coconut water. Then the coconut water gave me a couple of more joints. Then I'm like, okay, now I'm starving. And now that's when I had a meal.
Right. Yeah. And even if you're not thinking about the fasting, for the people worried about calorie deficiency, that helps as well.
Yes, it's one and the same. You know, if you're fasting, you should be in a caloric deficit. You know, unless you're wilding out during your meals. So if you just have one
Right.
meal, you're good. Even if you have like double what you usually eat. If you're like double, triple, quadruple stuffing a whole bunch of stuff into that eating window, you don't have a caloric deficit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That. Yeah. But
Right.
it's still not bad. And we, you know, it's still not bad, even if you don't, because if you start, if you go say, okay, I'm not going to eat again, at least you're bringing insulin down. And that, we talked about this before. So
Yep.
that helps bringing that insulin down is going to start the process of burning, because you can't even burn anything if your insulin is still up. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
even
right.
if you was like, man, I'm starving, and you didn't eat for 4 hours, let's say, that's good, because at least your insulin went low for a minute. You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of insulin, which a lot of people think of medicine when we talk about
Yeah.
insulin,
Yeah.
let's get into our next topic, which is medication. We have discussed here Wegovy and all of the other AL1G, or I forgot the letters, but ALG1 or whatever they
Yeah.
are.
We was one of the first ones to start discussing this. You know what I mean? We
Yo,
was
we
discussing
saw
it,
where
then it
now
blew
it
up.
is
It
everywhere.
blew up. Yeah.
Now every podcast I listen to, they like, yo, the
Yeah.
Ozempics, yo, the
Yeah, I was like,
Wegovys.
okay, I didn't realize that, man. I was like, I just brought it up, like, yo, let's talk about this. Seems weird. And then it just went crazy.
Took off, yeah.
Yeah.
So all of these ALG1 drugs, I believe that's what it's called, but whatever. Y'all know them, we named them, but to say them again, Ozempic, Wegovy, and their competitors, they've seen a lot of success, which we've discussed here. They've been integrated into a lot of quote-unquote weight loss programs, and now they are targeting not only the adults, but you guessed it, folks, the children.
Yeah, man.
They are targeting the children, and so they are heavily working on these remixes, if you will. They want to be able to distribute these same drugs to children. And so they're seeing the success and the millions and millions and millions of dollars that they're making. And they are now working on a drug, a lighter version of these same drugs for children's weight loss. And I gotta be honest, I am not happy about this shit at all, especially as a parent of an overweight kid. It does not make me happy that we are now not only telling adults in society, hey, don't worry, just take a drug. Hey, don't worry, just take this prescription. Now we are telling the children, don't worry about the hard work. Don't worry about the diet. Just take this. And let me tell you, this is really, really dangerous. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound like an old, ancient person. I don't mean to sound like a super conservative Republican congressman. I'm not trying to sound like any of those things. But let me explain something to you as a parent and as a person who worked with kids for many, many years before. When you give kids an easy button, when you give kids the way out of the thing they don't want to do,
Right.
you are creating a dangerous habit for that person, because that person will go and seek out easy buttons any chance they get. Okay? When you think about the people who are giving last place medals, we're talking about the same thing. I know it's silly, but it exists. There are a lot of people saying, oh, here's a participation trophy.
Right.
Right? We're giving them things to make them feel good. But what we're not doing is thinking about what I like to talk about a lot is the long-term effects of these decisions. And so telling a kid, hey, don't worry, you don't have to work hard. Hey, don't think about fixing your problem. Hey, just take this. Well, you're giving them an easy button. And an easy button is not realistic. Okay?
Yeah.
Forget about the fact that there are many people who have come out and talked about how Ozempic and Wegovy and their competitors have given them stomach issues. Forget about that for just a moment. Let's put that on the back burner. Let's throw it in the fridge, not the freezer, as Dre likes to say. We're gonna put that in our back pocket for later. But just think about what you're telling a child with this messaging, right? You're telling them they don't have to worry about their diet. They don't have to get on the treadmill, or they don't have to do any of those things. You're telling them, hey, hard work is not good enough. You're telling them that instead of working hard, instead of altering their life, all you got to do is take this injection and life will be better for you. But what happens when they try to take that same mentality and apply it to other things? Because that's the thing you're teaching them now, right? Because truly, they are trying their damnedest to make this a medication that is going to be regulated and required moving forward. Okay? This is no different than all the docs we've seen, all the movies we've seen where they say, hey, oh, you got a headache? Well, take this. Oh, you had a major surgery? Well, take this, even if you don't need it. And I think it's crazy. I know I'm getting political here, but I think it's crazy that this is happening as we're still on the tail end of the opioid crisis, as fentanyl is killing people every day. I think that it's pretty clear that drugs are not the answer. But this is what we're teaching our kids now, and this is what we're going to allow these big pharma companies to do. I'll tag you in for a bit before I don't want to take up all the time.
No, it's all good. Yeah. So I wanted to take that out of the refrigerator for a second, just so parents understand how dangerous this is, especially for kids. So to understand how dangerous it is, you got to understand how it works, or what they say in medicine is the mechanism of action, how this medication works. Well, it's mimicking something that your body naturally does, like a lot of drugs do, right?
Right.
And so what happens? So when you eat something, a lot of things that happen in the body is based on hormones. And so when you eat a meal, right, we know that insulin goes up, but that's not the only hormone that is triggered. There's a satiety hormone, and you know what? I forgot the name of it. It's G something. I'll come back with it. But there's a satiety hormone that says, hey, we've eaten and we're good. Now, this hormone spreads throughout the body. And the thing about it is, based on the food you're eating, most of the time it's there for a little bit and then it goes down. That's why a lot of times you might eat something like Chinese food and you'll be like, man, after a half hour, I'm hungry again, right? It's because of this particular hormone that I'm talking about. Well, how does Ozempic work? Ozempic mimics that hormone. And what Ozempic does is that it keeps that shit constantly there. So you always feel satisfied. And so you don't want to eat. And this is how you lose weight. The problem is when you have this chemical, this drug, because we know it's not the actual real thing your body created. It's a chemical sort of representation of this hormone that I'm speaking of. Right. This is the hormone that's inside your gut that people are complaining about when they're like, oh my God, Ozempic made my stomach was like this and it was like that. It's because of this hormone into the body, into your intestines, like not leaving. Your body creates this hormone to be like, okay, stay there for a second, say an hour, maybe less, boom, we're good. But Ozempic created this thing to be like, yo, we gonna keep this shit constantly going. And so now your body is like, what the hell is going on? Right. Why are we still on this high level with this hormone? This is crazy. And that's when the adverse effects come. Only reason I'm bringing that up is to say, now imagine this same effect into a child, right?
Right.
We already know adults are having a hard time dealing with this. So now you're taking this into a child whose body isn't developed yet. It's being developed. And the child's body has way more hormones going on all the time than an adult.
Yes.
Because it's especially growth hormone. Like growth hormone is constantly in kids because you have to grow. You have to, like, your bones got to grow. You know, you got to, with men, you got to like create a penis. That takes a lot of like hormonal work to get to adulthood, and hairs and everything like that. And so this crazy hormonal activity going on in a kid. So kids already have sort of a hormonal imbalance. Now you're going to put an artificial or chemical hormone on top of this crazy, wild, natural thing going on. You're going to put that in there. And what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to become stable? No. It's going to make this crazy process that's happening even more crazier, even more wild, to introduce this chemical hormone, this mimicking hormone that the body is like, whoa. And so the same thing with adults. Kids might lose weight at first, but they're going to have huge pains. I mean, their stomachs, who knows what's going to happen, you know, to their the lining of their stomach. Yeah, the lining of their stomach, you know, their intestinal tract is what I was looking to say. You know, all kinds of things are going to be all whacked and all wrong. We don't know how dangerous this is going to be. We know, as you're saying, this is a move for the pharmaceutical companies who's made like hand over fist money. So now they're thinking, man, if we can just get the FDA to approve it for kids, we can make more money. And as you're saying, where have we seen this before, right? Everyone's doing the documentaries on the opioid crisis and how these pharmaceutical companies and this one particular family got away with murder. And how did they do it? They got in bed with the FDA, and the FDA was like, all right, it's cool. And people lost their lives. And it's horrible. And it's horrible. There's no other word I can think of. But now to bring kids into the mix, right? And as you're saying, and the reason why you're bringing kids into the mix, exactly right, Jay, it's like, because now they're saying, if you're obese, well, that's a medical condition. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you love to eat sugary cereals in the morning. It's not your fault that you order Uber Eats when you get home from school. It's not your fault that you bring your own lunch to school, which could be not even real food. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of crazy, you know, processed garbage. None of that is your fault, right? Obesity is a medical condition. So now that they labeled it a medical condition, we have to give you drugs for this medical condition. Yep. We're going down a real dark alley right now. And we're making a turn for the worse. And we're not going to recognize how horrible it is until we get a few thousand, tens of thousands of kids possibly dying from intaking this hormone, this artificial hormone. When all they need to do is eat better, go outside, play, get off the video games for a minute, you know, do some athletics, take up a sport. You know, we have a whole thing, and maybe we'll point to it below of what we said. Okay, here's all the suggestions we think that you could do for kids. That was like months and months ago. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the link below. Yeah, and it's just like dozens of things you can have kids do, you know, to get them out the house and get them moving, because that's all you really need to do. Get them out the house and get them moving, and stop having them eat garbage. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we could maybe talk about this another part, but another thing they're trying to do is trying to make Lunchables, right, which, you know, is processed garbage. They're trying to get Lunchables to be acceptable as school foods now. And we know who's behind it, right? The manufacturer of Lunchables, right? They get in bed with the FDA, Food Drug Administration, and they say, okay, yo, I mean, I see y'all doing like school foods and stuff. Like, we could provide school foods. You know, we'll change a little bit here, change a little bit there in the Lunchable pack, and there y'all go. You know, so let's just give kids all processed meats and garbage for lunch. Remember, it's not lunch, it's a Lunchable. That's right.
Don't
Yeah.
forget your Reese's peanut butter cup.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So man, yeah, we're going down a real dark, dark, dark place here. And be warned, right? Just like before, we were one of the first people to start saying, hey, Ozempic, look out for it. It's dangerous. Don't do it when it comes your way. Not a lot of people listen to that. And millions, I mean, what we should have said was, yo, let's get this stock money together and invest in it. Because people are stupid. You know what I mean? But I mean, the stock price is crazy. The stock price is crazy. From the moment that we mentioned it to now, it's like crazy right now.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Of course.
yeah, in terms of kids, you're absolutely right, man. This is going to take them to a dark place, and it's not going to stop until some kids lose their lives.
And you got to also understand, remember that the whole gimmick is that, or as they say, the kicker is you can't stop taking this drug. This is not like, hey, like we said, we transitioned from insulin, right? People who are diabetic, until you stop being ill, you have to take medication. Sometimes that's an injection of insulin. But if you get better, you don't have to take this anymore. But Ozempic, you have to take indefinitely.
Right.
You got to take Ozempic forever. That's the whole thing.
Right.
And son, it's like, could you imagine if crack cocaine was a prescribed drug?
Yeah.
And not only that, but they said, hey man, because you have a bad nasal passage, that's not your fault.
Right.
That's not your fault. It's a condition. But it's a genetic condition, Dre. And because you have a nasal passage issue, you're going to take crack cocaine for the rest of your life. What?
Yeah.
It's like, son, what are we doing right now?
Right. Right. Exactly.
I mean,
it's
like
horrible.
it's like, I'm going to take this forever. So let's say you give this to a 12-year-old. They supposed to take Ozempic from 12 to 90?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, son.
So what happens then is that if you keep giving your body artificial hormones, then your body says, well, I'm not going to produce it anymore because we have enough of it all the time.
Right.
And then, yes, you do have the dependency. Now you have to take it. And unfortunately, with the body, the way the body works, what worked at, let's say, 10 milligrams will no longer work at 10 milligrams. Now you got to take 20 milligrams to do the same thing.
That's right.
Well, then the body gets used to 20. Well, now you got to take 40 milligrams. Well, now the body gets used to 40. Now you got to take 50, 60, 80. And before you know it, you're taking an amount that is incredible just to get the same results you had maybe like 4 or 5 months ago.
Of course. I mean, you got to understand the lifespan of the drug in your system.
Yeah.
You got to take this thing regularly. And that's exactly what you're saying. Your tolerance is going to build to a point that's like, yo, you taking so much it could kill an elephant. Like,
yeah.
And what you think it's going to do to you?
Yeah. But here's the good news, right? If you're a parent and you're saying my kid is fat and they need this thing, I'm going to tell you what naturally does what Ozempic does, and it's not berberine. And people are like, oh, berberine, because I don't know about giving kids berberine. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just haven't seen studies on that. But what can do what I just said that hormone can do is something very, very easy, and that is dietary fiber. Foods that have dietary fiber, yo. Foods that have dietary fiber. So if you give your kids natural food, I don't know, let's say an apple, right? Apple tastes a little sweet, tons of dietary fiber in it. It satiates you. So fiber has a natural satiating thing. If you eat enough things with fiber, carrots, vegetables, those kinds of things, you realize we said this before too, like, yeah, you could probably eat, 20 like apple candies, but I bet you can't eat more than like 2 or 3 apples.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When we spoke about it last time, your example was oranges.
Yeah, oranges.
You said you can eat an orange, 2 oranges. Let's get crazy. 4 oranges, but you ain't eating a bag of oranges.
Right. But if I gave you like orange flavored candies, you could probably eat a bunch of those, you know,
Yep.
orange Laffy Taffies, you can go all day, right?
Crazy.
But because the fiber that's inside natural fruits and vegetables, even in something like oatmeal, right? This is why people have oatmeal, they're like, yo, I'm good. I don't need to eat no more of that shit. Because
Yep.
it has tons and tons of fiber in there. And the body takes a long time to break that down. And so that hormone that I was talking about, it stays up there a little bit longer because your body's like, yo, I'm satiated. I don't need to eat another thing. So rather than giving your kid Ozempic, give your kid more dietary fiber. Fruits, vegetables, foods that have natural fiber, high fiber, they'll be all right. And get out of this, because what they have done with like cereals and things like that, they've like removed a lot of the fiber because it's like, ew, it don't taste right. And you just put tons of sugar in there. Well,
That's
no.
it.
Natural foods, you know, like I said, oatmeal, fruits, veggies, things like that have tons and tons of really good fiber. Oranges, tons and tons of really good fiber. Get your kids eating those natural things. You're going to start seeing the weight come down, and they're going to be not as hungry because they're eating actual real food.
Yep.
I'm done.
Totally agree. No, listen, and that's it. Ain't nothing really else to say there. So, you know, not really a way to transition here without just keeping it real. So, you know, we're in November now, right? And so you know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? You know what's coming. The Macy's Day Parade.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A big ass turkey. And all the nasty, disgusting, beautiful looking, tasty things that shouldn't be in our bodies, all on our plate.
Yeah.
Y'all know the stuff. I don't gotta list it. Y'all know. And so, you know, it's gonna be tough. But you should probably consider your goals when you go house hopping and start piling things onto the plate. And so since I started last topic, I'm gonna let Dre go.
Yeah.
And then I'll hit it after.
Yeah, man. Happy tank living, right? You're gonna be a big ass tank fucking
living.
around.
That is
You know what I
definitely
mean?
the name of this episode. Tank
You know what I mean?
living.
You're gonna definitely be a big ass mofo because what happens, people just say, well, it's Thanksgiving, you know, but it's Thanksgiving, you know, and whatever goals you thought you had are now like gone. And I just disagree with that. I feel like you can have your Thanksgiving, you can have it, but you still have to, you know, be somewhat moderate. You know, if you're going to like eat all the pies and cakes and all the crazy meats and just go nuts with it, yo, it's going to take you a long time. So here's my suggestion. And Jay, you can tell me how you feel. I say what we just talked about earlier. You go on Thanksgiving, when you wake up, don't eat nothing, right? Do the water thing, do the tea thing, do the blah, 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 and know where you're going to go. And then say to yourself, I'm going to give myself a feeding window. So I'm going to start my Thanksgiving eating at 3, and by 6, I'm done. I'm not anything else. While out between 3 to 6, do what you need to do, whatever. But after 6, shut it down, go to sleep. We know that turkey makes you real sleepy. Don't eat anything else. Don't eat anything else. And I think you'll be all right. If you make your eating window between 3 to 6 on Thanksgiving Day, and I'm telling you right now, I'm saying I give you permission. Go do what you want to do. Eat it all up. Coquito, eggnog, go to town. Right?
All right.
But 6 o'clock, you got to say to yourself, all right, I'm done. Can't do anything else. And then wake up the next day. Don't eat again. Drink that water again. Do the whole tea again. Yo, you'll be okay. And you can start eating again. I don't know. But based on what time you wake up, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, you'll be okay if you do that. Because you're giving your body enough time just start breaking that food down that you ate. You'll be all right. The problem is what Jay just said. You eat at this place for a few hours, then you leave, then you eat at the next place for a few hours. Then at night, you packed up some food, and before you go to bed, you eat some more. Then you wake up, you're like, yo, I'm going to have the cake and the pie for breakfast, and you have that. You have it with the ice cream, and then you have that, and then it lasts for like 3 or 4 or 5 days, and and you keep doing, you just keep binge eating constantly. Your insulin is going to stay high. You're never going to digest that, and you're just accumulating fat. So, have fun, but be smart. Jay?
I'm going to go another route. That is good advice, but I don't know if people are going to do all that intermittent fasting during Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say portion control, which we suck at. But this is the time when you really want to work on those portions, especially if you're house hopping. You cannot go to grandma's house and have an overflowing, overstuffed, food is falling on the floor plate, and then wait 2 hours and be like, I'm going to have a slice of pie, then I'm going to cousin's house, and then do it again. And then after your cousin's house, you say, well, my lady friend, she got a plate for me, and she cooked at her crib. She was at her grandma's house too, so she got some stuff she cooked, and she got a plate from grandma's house for me. I'm going over there. And now you're on your third overflowing plate, and you're going to take 2 more plates home. Fam, this is ridiculous. So, portion control. You can have a little bit everywhere if you have a little bit everywhere. If you watched this pod before, you saw Dre come up here with an itty bitty, super tiny, found it at the dollar store, Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And that's the mentality you need on Thanksgiving. Go have some pie. Go have some cake. Go have the macaroni, the yams. Y'all know the song. Yams, hams, potatoes, tomatoes. Go have all of that. But have a wee little bit. Don't have so much that you can't move and you got the itis. And when you can finally move, you say, all right, now I'm going to Dre's house to go have some more. No. Have a little bit. The same way you set up your plate. Say, I'm going to have a little this, a little that. Make sure you keep to the word little bit, because black folk, we don't do that. We take a heaping spoon of each thing and slap it on our plate. You got this, you got a fistful of macaroni and cheese, a fistful of yams, 2 handsful of rice and beans. Yo, it's too much. And then you pour the gravy all on top. Oh, it's too much. You can't do that at 5 locations. And you shouldn't do it at 1 location because you have goals. And I'm assuming you have goals because you're listening to this podcast. And if you're listening to or watching this podcast, you're probably trying to get your body right in some way, shape, or form. And so that's why I'm going to say to you, listeners, viewers, don't go and pile it on and make a pyramid that's tilting over of food. Go get you a plate and put a little something, something. Or take it old school. On Thanksgiving, a lot of people don't have the good china out. We got plastic plates, plastic forks, plastic cups, right? Don't go get a 2-liter of coquito. Get that little red cup, pour it in that red cup, have 1 red cup and be done, right? And if you got the plastic plates, they usually got the plastic plates for the kids. And I know y'all probably hearing this, saying JD done lost his motherfucking mind if he about to say it. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Get a kid's plate. Get a kid's plate. Fill up that kid's plate. And then you could go wherever you want to go next.
It's not happening, brother. It's not happening. I'm going to tell you why it's not happening. So I'll use the same example you just used, right? Remember that Ben & Jerry's ice cream? That's the container it came in. I can't get more out of it once it's done. But the container the food is in big ass pots and sheets and shit. People don't work with what they got. And so they might, listen, they take out that little plate I'll give that to you. Let's say they fill that up. They're gonna fill that up about 16 times because you can keep going back. Every place you go is gonna say get as much as you want. Man, go get as much as you want. And so you eat that first plate, you're gonna be like, that ain't shit. And you're gonna keep having more and more and more. You know what I mean? People, it's gluttony day. It's gluttony day, and people wanna feel like, yo, I'm glutton. People love the feeling of having the food baby, right? It's like, oh, look what happened to me. They love it. And that's my advice is like, okay, have your food, baby. Rock yourself out. One time for your mind.
I don't want them to purge their diet.
And then here's the other thing. The other problem with that is they're going to take home the plates, bro. They're going to take home plates. If you take home plates, it's also over. Because there's no way you're taking home the plates of all that deliciousness and you're not nibbling the entire time. That night, when you wake up, all day the next day, you're going to be nibbler, just nibbling all over the place. And that's going to keep your insulin up. You're never going to digest your food. That's going to create more fat cells, and you're going to be a fat mofo. So don't do that. Don't take home any plates. I know it's tempting. People going to be like, what? You're not taking home plates? What? It's crazy. You crazy? Don't take home a plate. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you're visiting cats, if you want to do J-style, where it's like, I'm going to do small plates, and I'm just going to visit my peeps. If they say, hey, take a plate, no. Whatever you eat there is what you eat there. Done. You're going to do it my style, I'm saying go glutton, yo. Do it. Give yourself 3 hours. Rock out, baby. Food babies all day. Don't take a plate home. Stop it at a particular hour. It doesn't have to be 3 to 6. You know, it's all flexible. Whatever your time window is, you know, you might start at. I remember when I coming up, my family was always late. Everybody on had Thanksgiving dinner way before us. We'd be starting late as hell, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. People like, what? Y'all just not starting? And I'm like, oh, that's the way it was. So if you start late, like we used to do, 8, 9, 10, you know what I mean? Okay, we're done. You know, 11, okay, you finished. Okay, it's over. It's over. That's it. Go home. Don't take none of that stuff home. You know what I'm saying? And if the thing is at your house, yeah, give that shit away. Yeah, here, take it. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, everybody take something. I don't want nothing. I want none of this. Just to give it to the homeless, give it to the kitchens or whatever. You know what I mean? Get that shit out.
I think the small plate is the way to go because portion control is where it's at.
All right. Well, when this airs, y'all tell us how you feel. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you want to like wild out for just a short window, or do you feel like you're better off having smaller plates as time goes on throughout the day? Put it down in the comments.
The reason I say the smaller plates is because a lot of people house hop today.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it ain't like before, right? Before, like you said, your family started late. But we have a difference in our age group. But even when I was a young cub, there was no house hopping. It was grandma's or it was our house.
That's it.
Wherever it was the one place.
Right.
That was it. Today, man, I could house hop all night and get a plate from somebody tomorrow. Like me and Bestie, I'll blur her name out, but you know, every year Kia calls me and be like, hey, this is what we got at the house.
Right.
What you want.
Right.
And then I see Kia within 3 days and she gives me a shopping bag. And I'm like, Kia, I don't need a shopping bag. I be giving it away.
But that's what I'm saying.
I be calling cats like, yo, son, you want some mac and cheese? Niggas gave me an entire tray of mac and cheese. I don't need an entire tray of mac and cheese.
She's smart to do that, to be like, yo, I'm going to give this shit away. I don't want this shit in my house. Here, you take it, you take it, I'm done.
But I can't, absolutely she's smart. But what I'm saying is I can't go house hopping and hit 3, 4, 5 spots and then get a shopping bag from her tomorrow. That's too much. But if I portion control, if I portion control, I can hit those spots with my itty bitty plate. You know what I'm saying? And just a bite of whatever the dessert is.
But they still gonna want you to take the bag of macaroni. They still gonna want you to bring home something. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think that's wrong. I think you're gonna listen. I've been there too. I've been mad places. I come home, I got plates for days, baby, all in the refrigerator. I ain't cooking for a good 2 weeks. I'm good. But you know what happens? Those plates become breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. All I'm doing is messing with those plates constantly. And don't even talk about the dessert plates that I got with the
Right.
cakes on it and the pies and everything else. Oh,
Cornbread.
what? The banana Nella cookie joint, you know, that everybody
the
like.
banana pudding.
Yeah, the banana pudding situation with the Nella wafers. Oh my
Come on,
God.
son.
All that just lined in the refrigerator. You know what I mean? So it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to bring home plates. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about bringing home plates. What's your position on that?
No, I do think it's a bad idea. It is.
Okay.
I agree
Yeah.
it's a bad idea, but sometimes it don't even be you, son. You be walking out and they be like, hey, this is yours. Don't forget. You be like, what the hell is that? Be like, these are your plates. We packed this. This is for you, Jay. You come here every year. This is for you. And it's in your face, just like my hand is in the camera. It's like, this is for you. This is yours.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I mean? You be on the walkout. Where's my water bottle? If you're on some, hey, don't forget your coquito.
Right,
Here, this is
right,
yours. Don't forget.
right. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
bottle.
yeah,
You like,
yeah.
son, a whole
I-
bottle
I-
for me.
I've
Yeah,
been
because
there.
Dre never showed up. So
I've been
here,
there.
just
Yeah,
take
I
this
know.
bottle.
I know. I love it.
You like,
I love
son,
it.
I can't
Beautiful. It's beautiful, but I gotta say
do
no.
that.
Right. It's
Can't do that.
beautiful. Thank
I
you,
like to
but
say,
gotta
truth be told, the only one I get the plate from is Bestie. If I house hop, I say no out of laziness because I don't want to carry nothing to the next spot.
Got you.
And
Got
I'm gonna tell you, this is the real secret sauce. This how you get rid of your leftovers. I sometimes go to my boy's crib and give him the plate.
Oh yeah.
I'd be
Oh,
like, yo,
yeah.
I was just at Dre's crib. Shit was crazy over there.
Bro.
Here, this is your plate.
You
It
ain't
ain't
never
his
lied.
plate. It's the plate they gave me.
Bro, you ain't never lied.
And I'm just like, yo, Tez, take this plate. Hey, Nestor, you like banana pudding, right? Here, they gave me this big ass
Yeah.
tub of banana. I could barely carry it. It weighed about 50 pounds. Here's the banana pudding. That's for you.
Right. Yeah, yeah. You're supposed to do that. I do that all the time. I call it just regifting. I'm just gonna regift it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
You give me a gallon of coquito, I'm gonna stop at my boy house. Yo, son, I know your birthday coming up. Gallon of coquito for you, son. Got you, baby. Yeah, I was thinking about you. You know what I mean?
I was thinking
I don't want
about
I don't want it in my house. You know what I mean? Stop at somebody else's house. Yo, you like apple pies, right? I know you like apple pies. Yo, check this out. Yo, happy tank living. There you go. Knock yourself
Happy
out.
tank living. Son,
There
you a
you go.
fool. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind. I'll play devil's advocate, right? Because, like, I'm going to keep it real. There's certain things I like. I don't want to lie on the pod. There's certain things I like. I'm calling niggas. I'm like, Dre, your sister made that bomb-ass apple crumb pie. Oh, man, I love that apple crumb pie.
Yeah.
Can you bring me a little bit?
They're not bringing you.
And that's what I'll do. I'll ask for a little bit. Now,
They're
I
not
got to
bringing
be
that.
honest.
They're not bringing it a little bit.
Sometimes,
They're not.
sometimes
Just keep
niggas
it
give you an
100.
entire pie. You like, son,
Right, right. You get a half a
I
sheet.
asked for a little bit.
Yeah, but you my dude, so
You
you get half a
gave
sheet.
me the entire pie.
It's gonna be about the size of this fucking flag on my shirt. You're gonna have
That's
it here.
right.
Boom. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's you. You like
And
what the hell?
that's why I mess up. I'll be honest. That's why I be messing up. Because I know certain people, if I call them, they got that shit I like. So
Yeah.
I'll make a call, but then that's where it gets dangerous.
And then you thinking about you because come on, keep it 100. You'd be like, yo, this really tastes good, but it'll taste even better if I get that ice cream with it. And then
Oh, come on. You got to throw a scoop of ice cream on top of the apple pie.
and there you go. Now you
You know what I'm
3,000
saying?
calories in.
3,000 calories in, and you ain't even touched the plate yet. Just dessert.
And you're gonna be doing that. And you're gonna be doing that the whole week. You're gonna have the whole week of just scooping up pies and ice creams, thinking. Then you're gonna say to yourself, "I don't know why I'm not losing weight." And you call somebody, you know what I mean? You call somebody like me. Why am I, Dre?
Right.
Yeah. Why am I not losing weight? You
Mad,
know what I mean?
Mad Lion, Dre. Listen, Dre, I was good. I've been
Yo.
good during the holidays. I've been hitting the
I
gym. I
do.
don't know why.
Why?
I'm not?
Why? What is it?
Dre, can you help me?
I go to the gym all the time. Why you think it is? Like it has nothing
Right.
to do with all that Thanksgiving food you've been eating for the past 2 weeks. It has nothing to do with that. All right.
Right.
See, we gonna play games.
And then you know what's the fucked up part? As soon as you get rid of the Thanksgiving plates, now Christmas is a week away.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Of course. Of course. Here, 'tis the season to be flabby. Fa la 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 la
Yo,
la.
you on a roll. You on a roll. To
Tis the
be
season.
flabby.
Tis the
You on a
season.
roll.
You know what I mean? You
You
know?
see what happens when we don't pod for a month? Drake come in with all the fire.
Just there you
This is what we
go,
gotta do.
man.
We gotta
Just
start
keep it.
podding once a month so Drake can just
Keep
come
it.
with all the
Just,
fire.
yo, let's just keep it 100 the whole time. You know what it is. Yeah, and saying
That's
that everybody
mad
get all
funny.
the reasons, but it's Christmas, you know. Jesus died so that I could be obese. I don't know, you know, like whatever. All right.
Jesus died on Christmas. That's fly.
Right, right,
He must have resurrected on New
right,
Year's.
right. He was born and died on the same day, for your caloric pleasures.
Your caloric intake.
Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is, man. Don't. My thing is, yo, keep it real. We both had two strategies for y'all. Give it a try. See which ones you like. Yo, and you know what? It's not one day. You could say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do this at this time, and then maybe you try doing the smaller plates the next day. Because
Right.
we all know when you're visiting, you can't visit everybody on that one day. You might, hey,
I
I'm
might
gonna
catch
see
you
you.
tomorrow.
Yeah, especially that Friday, that Black Friday, like, oh, okay, everybody got that day off anyway. So you could try one method one day, try the other method the other day. Let me know which one you felt was, helped you out. You met your goals, but you felt satisfied. You know what I'm saying? That which one made you feel better at the end of the day? I'll be curious to know that.
Yep, that's a good one. Yeah. All right, I think this is where we wrap it up.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all real soon. Thanks for tuning in, listening, and let us know, what do you feel about our different Thanksgiving strategies. And we'll see y'all real soon. Adios, amigos.